Hola, welcome to my Spanish kitchen. We're high up in the mountains above the Mediterranean coastal city of Alicante, and this is where I have fun making super tasty dishes, all based on Spain's incredibly healthy Mediterranean diet. Today's topic is tapas. I can't possibly do it justice in a couple of minutes, but I'll get you started on a little bit of the history and some of the simplest dishes that are iconic classics all around the country. But it begins with a glass of wine. This glass of wine that has a little piece of bread on top represents what bartenders used to do when they had a problem with flies, either at an outdoor cafe or an indoor cafe. So they put a little piece of bread to create a cover or a tapa over the top and started putting little pieces of cheese on top or ham, an olive, a pepper, whatever, just a small single bite. And this, of course, became one of Spain's global contributions to cuisine. From here it evolved, and evolved into all different kinds of dishes. The first dish I want to talk about is Pedron Peppers. They're incredibly popular, and it's also a lot of fun, because about 1 in 100 of these peppers is going to be spicy, and you take your chances. Mostly, it's super sweet. We put them on a plancha or a cast iron skillet, grill them, char them until the outside skins are black and crusty, and then we're going to dress it with olive oil and Mediterranean sea salt, and that's it, and we plate it. Another one of my favorites is Ventresca, which is tuna belly, dressed with wedges of tomatoes. These are tomato negro that are in season right now, and thin slices of onion. And the combination of this, along with being dressed with olive oil, is an amazing flavor. Really beautiful dish to serve. But here's another kind of classic thing about Spain. Spain is extremely well known for their world-class canned goods. Everything from red bell peppers to white asparagus to all kinds of fish like mejillones or mussels, sardines fixed in a whole variety of ways. And it's not only acceptable, but it's a pretty classy thing to do to be able to plate these and serve these as part of a tapas party. Now, speaking of classy things, for me, I can't go without having tapas that include Jamon, Iberico, Belota. It's pricey, I admit, but oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And the fat is monounsaturated, just like olive oil, so it's healthy for you. It'll melt on your tongue when you taste it. You go to a butcher who's skilled in this, you ask them to sliver it and slice it up to get it ready for you, and they will do paper-thin slices of this, served just the way I've got it on this plate, and that's it. You'll have friends for life if you start a tapas party with this. Another classic is a cracker, and it's called a Picos. They're little crackers that you just set out. They go with everything and any one of these dishes, and as well as anything you want to drink, cerveza, caña, or wine. So with that, we'll begin. We'll start on the plancha and do up the Pedron Peppers. Then I'll plate up the Ventresca, slice up the onion, cut these tomatoes into wedges, and all we have to do is plate everything and we're ready to go. So let's get started. Okay, we are ready to do this amazingly simple and delicious tapa called Ventresca con tomate. I've taken the Ventresca out of the can. It's already plated to go. And now I want to place our sliced tomatoes all around the outside of the dish. You can do this however you like, but I think it looks pretty this way. Just a little crown around the amazing Ventresca. And then we're going to sprinkle it with some thinly, very thinly sliced onion. And the fun part about this is that it gives a little bit of spice to the dish. The Ventresca is incredibly mild, and the tomatoes have a depth of flavor that are amazing. So the entire combination is really wonderful. And I'm going to finish it off with a very mild olive oil that I love, Arbequina. We'll give a sprinkle of Mediterranean sea salt to it. And that's it. We're all done. One dish down. For our next dish, it's roasted bell peppers, drizzled with beautiful olive oil. And this is a super simple dish to do. I'm simply going to plate these beautiful bell peppers that have been charred and canned in extra virgin olive oil. And it's kind of a theme like the other one. I've got a round of red flavor like the tomatoes. In the center, I just want to put some picos because people love to snack on these. A little mound of them in the middle of the plate adds a little dimension, and it's very classic tapa. And this time, I'm going with Frantoio. Frantoio is an incredibly sweet olive oil, and so it will emphasize and bring out all the sweet flavors of these sweet bell peppers. And a drizzle of that. And we're done with dish number 2. Our next dish is the incredibly fun Pedron Peppers. So these peppers have been tossed with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to add them to a searing hot cast iron skillet until they're blistered and charred on the outside. I'm going to dress them with some Mediterranean sea salt, and that's it. We're ready to get started on the Pedron Peppers. It ought to take just a couple of minutes. I'm spying a little bit of smoke. So I'm gonna set the peppers in. Yeah, you can hear them. They're sizzling a little bit. And they're bouncing around a little bit, which is good. I don't wanna overcrowd the pan, but with these peppers, it shouldn't matter. Another minute or so, and we're all done. The remaining part will be to just sprinkle them with a little Mediterranean sea salt. We'll plate them, and then we'll have the fun of seeing if anybody gets one of those 1 in 100 that have some real heat to it. Take a look. We're just about there. Everything's getting really nicely charred. And they're steaming a little on the inside because they're fresh peppers. It's an incredibly popular dish in Spain. And I love them because they're so sweet. And we're done. That's it. So let's plate them up and start our party. We're ready for the tapas party. I salted the Padron Peppers. They're ready to go. As is the Jamon Iberico Belota that's been plated, along with the red bell peppers, the Ventresca tomato and onion. I didn't mention it, but I've added a really beautiful queso fresca to the table because I think it's nice and refreshing and cool and good complement to everything else. And of course, the glass of wine that started the whole story. Thanks so much for joining me in my Spanish kitchen today. I hope to see you soon, but in the meantime, enjoy a little tapas before your next meal. Thanks a lot. Take care. Salud.